I'm Jacqueline Isaacs, also known as the Unsmug Mum, and jacquelineisaacs.co.uk. And as you can see, I've had a bit of a brainwave because I'm so busy with Christmas orders as things kick off over on the jacquelineisaacs.co.uk website and Facebook page, that I have just been totally slacking when it comes to my Unsmug Mum blog posts. And yeah, I'm just like really short on time, so I thought, I know what I'll do this hands-free. I will carry on working while I quickly do a video. So in this build up to Christmas, one of the things that amuses me, because there are a couple of like nutrition and coaches and stuff out there that I follow and I get emails from, and I get the Facebook threads and stuff that come through, and as it builds up to Christmas, they're all sort of putting out their opinions on what to do to get you through the festive period and whatever. And as you know from all my previous blog posts, there are really two major key things when it comes to our food and drink that will help us, and hopefully me too, keep and manage our weight, and hopefully just avoid putting too much on over this festive period, because let's face it, we're all going to indulge. We're going to indulge in the food and we're going to indulge in the drink. I know I am. I already have been. So the main two things, as you could probably guess if you've been watching my previous videos, in terms of food, a lot of it revolves around fibre. And you've got your porridgey, hairy plug hole effect of soluble and insoluble fibres. And the best source of fibre is vegetables. You get the bonus of them being nutritionally dense, which means they've got lots of vitamins and stuff in as well that's good for us, so that's a bonus. But veggies have the added bonus of being a low sugar source of fibre. So that's where I big up, have your prawn cocktail starter, maybe not so much heavy on the, mayonnaise sauce, but, have your salady starters, your side plates of vegetables. Make sure you eat that fibre, and no, don't just leave it till the end. That's not going to do good any good. Think about your porridgey, hairy plug hole effect that's going to gloop up those sieve-like holes in our guts and slow down like it would in a shower. If you put porridge and a load of hair over your plug hole in the shower, think about how slowly that water would drain away, and think about that same effect happening with the little hole-like things in our, sieve-like things in our guts, and keep that in mind. So that effect, whether it be fat energy or carbohydrate energy, sugar energy, whatever that energy source is going to slow it down. Plus you get the added effect of the sticks down a stream effect, because we do not digest fibre, it goes straight through, feeds our good guys. And remember, we're going to be eating lots and lots of sugary products, I imagine, over this period. Sugar feeds the bad guys, fibre feeds the good guys. So make sure, in order to avoid a lot of these lurgies and help your good guys win over the bad guys, try not to overfeed the bad guys, and try and focus on at least keeping the good guys fed so that they can thrive and fight off the bad, because it literally is like that. The other thing, so that's your food. So I'm not saying, do all these different tactics. I've already been on the mince pies, seriously. And I know I'm going to eat too much and drink too much over Christmas. Now, to be honest, we began last week, because as soon as we hit this sort of dull, grey, miserable, cold weather and that, out come the roasts. And we had roast pork. I ate a load of salt and fat. I had some crackling, but what I did do is I just made sure that I had lots of veggies. So I make sure I have lots of salad with me lunch, whatever I have for lunch, whether I have a pita or a toast sort of. So I'm gluten free, and it doesn't, from my previous videos, it doesn't matter whether you're gluten free or not, because all the energy is the same no matter what grain they've used, whether it's a gluten-free grain or what, it's all the same. So the key is your porridgey, hairy plug holes and sticks down the stream. It's making sure you eat your fibre. Don't just think, oh, I've eaten veggies at that meal, therefore I've eaten one healthy meal that day. This is how it doesn't work. It's all about food combinations. So if you eat a ton of energy, whether that be fat energy, carbohydrate energy, sugar energy, whatever that energy is, and you've eaten that energy on its own without any fibre at all, that's going to shoot straight through that sieve, yeah, like water or sand going through that sieve. It's going to shoot straight in, and every single bit of it is going to get inside our body. Whereas if we eat that meal, whatever it is, unhealthy or not, if we eat it with a vegetable-based starter, or an accompaniment, ideally, that we eat at the same time, you know, don't just leave it till the end, then that means we're going to get our hairy, porridgey plug hole effect, that is going to limit and, well, first of all, it's going to slow it down, how fast it can get through the sieve-like holes in our gut. Secondly, it's going to limit how much gets through, and you're going to get that sticks down a stream effect, where some of it we won't even digest because it will be swept out with the fibre. Obviously, I have given the sort of warning alongside that before, where if we eat too much fibre, you know, if we're just going to have a plate full of veg, that's not great either, because obviously sticks down a stream effect, if you've got a lot of sticks down a stream, it's going to whip out the good stuff and the nutrients that we actually need too. So that's not ideal either. So, right, that's the food. In terms of the drink, now, I intend, and as I say, I've already been hitting a few festive alcoholic tipples already. Not this morning, obviously, that would be a bit, you know, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. But yeah, no, not yet, especially not when I'm working. So alcohol. Now, the main thing to remember with alcohol, you know, we get all of these posts now sort of saying, don't forget your alcohol's got calories too. And yes, alcohol does contain an energy, but if you watch the very first, very shaky, very first video that actually prompted these videos, it's, yes, we have to bear in mind that alcohol has energy, of course it does, but it's what that energy is that's important. And if you have watched that first video, you will know that alcohol energy is a different sort of energy. It's not like carbohydrate energy, it's not like fat energy. We can use the alcohol energy, the body does use it, but because it's such an inefficient source of energy, the body wants to prioritise getting rid of that energy, the alcohol energy, first, above all else. So, what it will do, in order to make sure it gets rid of the alcohol energy first, it will stick all other types of energy into storage. Yeah, so all fat energy, all carbohydrate energy, all sugar energy, all of that other energy that you might have consumed with the alcohol goes into fat storage. Yeah, because if you've got alcohol in your system, your body will prioritise the alcohol energy over any other type, and it will stick the rest of it into storage. So you bear in mind, I believe that this may be one of the main reasons that we tend to gain weight over the festive period, because we do tend to eat a lot more and drink a lot more, obviously, but it's the combination. See, this is all about, this is where I'm going with these videos. It's not necessarily about denial, restriction and starving yourself. It's actually about food and drink combinations. And one of the things that helped me lose my weight is realising that I really did need to have and increase my alcohol-free days or my alcohol-free meal times. Because bearing in mind, no matter how nutritious a meal is, it could be really nutritious, really healthy. But if I have drunk alcohol with that meal, all of that energy that comes from that healthy meal will go into fat storage until the body has dealt with the alcohol energy first, because the body does not like alcohol energy and it wants to prioritise it above all else. So, as you can imagine, if you have eaten a massive Christmas dinner that's absolutely chock-a-block brimful of fat energy, loads of potatoes and Yorkshire puddings as your carb energy, followed by like chocolatey rich sugary desserts, so there's sugars and starches and fats, and we've got all this overconsumption of energy, which is even more than usual, and we drink alcohol at the same time. What happens? all of that excess energy, not just the energy from a regular meal, but an oversized meal that has actually got a lot more energy in it than it normally would, all of it will be stuck into storage until the body has dealt with the inefficient alcohol energy. Okay, so if you bear in mind that, I don't know, I imagine people's pattern at Christmas might not differ too much from mine, where I will eat a massive oversized meal, eat loads more pudding than I normally would. I've probably started drinking early in the day, I drink with my meal, and I carry on drinking after my meal. Day full of alcohol. Guess which energy the body is burning that day and which energy it is not going to touch and just stick into storage. You just think, one day alone, you've probably eaten the equivalent of about 3 days worth of energy, and every bit of that energy, if you've been drinking all the way through it all at the same time, has been stuck into storage because your body is going to prioritise the alcohol energy. So what I'm going to see if I can, it's going to be interesting having this knowledge, because this is the first year that I've had this knowledge and how I'm going to do it. I am already thinking that, I mean, we do tend to try and eat earlier in the day anyway. I don't like massive, great big heavy meals like later in the day. So it really does give me incentive to make sure that we eat our Christmas dinner early in the day, so that I'm less likely to drink maybe quite as much earlier in the day. So definitely a lunchtime dinner. And then, you know, maybe, hopefully, if it's nice weather, get out for a walk or whatever. And try and give myself a break, maybe, in the alcohol. To try and give my body a chance to get rid of some alcohol energy, so that it does at least burn off some of the dinner energy. And not just stick it all into storage. So yeah, this is going to be a new one for me as well. This is going to be the first year that I have done a Christmas armed with this knowledge that has helped me lose my weight and maintain it. So it's going to be interesting. But I actually just think, you know, I probably won't worry too much for one day, the day in itself, but it's going to be interesting how I go armed with this knowledge, because I do think sometimes when you understand the science behind these things, it makes you think slightly differently about your food choices, because then it doesn't become about, oh, I really want that, but I can't have it, but I will. It becomes about trying to be a bit clever with your food combinations. So at the very, very least, I will be making sure I eat lots of fibre with all my fat and sugar. But I'll tell you what, it will also keep me mindful on the days surrounding Christmas and the lead up to, and then obviously you've got New Year's afterwards and that. And just making sure that I give myself, having fibre at every meal, veggie fibre, because that's the low calorie source of fibre, with every meal, and just try and be aware of keeping some alcohol-free meals. Doesn't necessarily mean alcohol-free days. It just means alcohol-free meals. Give my body time to digest. And the interesting experiment I'm going to do, now I don't know this, I don't know yet if this works, but I was thinking about this and I thought, right, well, okay, say I resist in some of the days that in the lead up to Christmas and after Christmas. Say I make sure I have some alcohol-free meals, so I don't have that glass of wine with my dinner. And I basically then even if I have pudding, I give my body the opportunity to digest that meal rather than sticking it into storage while it deals with the alcohol energy. But what if, you know, like when you're going to go swimming, they recommend leaving an hour's gap between eating. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? They recommend leaving an hour's gap between eating and swimming, because otherwise you get like belly cramps. Would that same gap work with the alcohol? Does that mean that if we've digested our dinner, say about if we leave an hour's gap, we'll be sitting there like, oh, watching that, is it an hour yet? Glass of gin, wine, whatever it is, ready to pounce. But yeah, I'm just curious. I don't know. I don't actually know, because there's none of this sort of advice out there. I don't actually know the answer to that one. I can only experiment with it and see, in the lead up and between Christmas and New Year's, if I leave an hour's gap after a meal before I maybe start drinking, that'll encourage me to eat an earlier dinner, won't it? And then just be mindful of, once I do start drinking, is not to eat like excess calories, while like excess fats and carbohydrates and sugars while I'm drinking, while I've got that. And just have that awareness that whatever I eat, this is not to say drink on an empty stomach, by the way. Definitely not. I'm talking about leaving a gap. But, you know, I'm just curious to know that would that then give the body a chance to digest some of the energy before the alcohol energy enters the system. And then if I just keep mindful that whatever I then eat on top of that alcohol is probably going to go into storage while my body deals with the alcohol energy. Will that work? I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. So whatever happens, just enjoy the period, you know, the whole festivities. I know I love Christmas. I love everything about it. I do love seeing my family. I love warm, cosy evenings with lots of food and drink, and that's what I'm going to enjoy. That's what I like. So I'm just going to make sure I eat my veggies and I try and give myself some alcohol-free meals. There you go. And I think hopefully then we'll wait and see how that has an effect. Maybe I need to do a start weight and an end weight. Maybe what I need to do. Alright, the husband is off from, where is it? I think it's like Monday 17th, is it? Or something like that. I need a calendar in front of me. So maybe what I need to do, that if that sort of is my Christmas, the beginning of my Christmas period, is have a start weight and have an end weight after the New Year's Eve bit, and we're fully into 2019. Yeah, see if I'm brave enough for that. Right, whatever happens, good luck and enjoy it, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye.